What happens to our eggs when we age? Now, welcome to Fertile Minds. I'm Dr. Iris Wang from IVFAustralia, and this is the topic we're talking about today. I want to start by saying, as women, we're born with all the eggs we will ever have, and we just use them up in life. Now, we're all born with roughly 2 million eggs at birth, and they are tiny, primitive eggs that are contained in our ovaries. Now, because they are biological things, so they will gradually die off. And so by the time we hit puberty, we've lost about 3/4 of our stock already. So we're left with about 400 to 500,000 eggs by that stage. And at puberty, our body learns to respond to pituitary hormones coming from our brain, where the hormones will stimulate our little eggs to mature, grow, and ovulate. So what happens there is that at the beginning of every month, our ovaries present our body with about 20 eggs. Now, this number is not exact. Okay, so from cycle to cycle, from time to time, and as age goes on, this number may vary. But for the purpose of this video, let's say we get about 20 eggs per cycle coming out in preparation for ovulation. And these are the little immature eggs. The pituitary hormone we have is able to sustain the growth, maturation, and ovulation of one egg, and very rarely 2, but definitely not 20. So what will happen is 19 eggs will grow a little bit and stop growing, and then they die off. Only one will complete this growth phase and become a mature egg and get ovulated. And that mature egg has the potential of getting fertilized by a sperm and achieve a pregnancy. Immature eggs cannot get fertilized. Now, if fertilization didn't happen, then that egg is dead within 24 hours. And then we get a period in about 2 weeks' time. And most of us has been there, right? We know what that's like. But the interesting thing out of this is, for every egg that we ovulate, we're actually wasted about 19 in the same process. Now you will say, so, okay, what happens with age? And I've already alluded to the fact that the numbers will go down. But more importantly, by the time we reach our mid-30s, quality starts going down as well. And you will ask, why is that? Well, all our body organs undergo wear and tear. You know, your bones and joints, our heart, lungs, and the ovaries are not immune to this process. So with wear and tear, the egg qualities are affected. We're not sure exactly how, but we think largely it has something to do with subtle damages to the organelles that is responsible for the energy production of the egg cell. So when egg quality goes down, the egg is less likely to be fertilized to achieve a pregnancy. Now, fertilization involves the coming together of the maternal as well as the paternal genetic material, and they mix together and form a cohesive one. This is a very complex and precise process, so mistakes can happen. With the eggs aging, mistakes are even more likely to happen. So when fertilization does happen and pregnancy does happen, one is more likely to conceive with a chromosomally abnormal embryo. And the reduction of quality is probably the single most important reason negatively impacting a woman's ability to conceive in her 40s, despite the fact that more than likely she continues to ovulate monthly. And it is also responsible for high incidences of miscarriages when she does conceive, because she's more likely to conceive with a chromosomally abnormal embryo. Okay, so time goes on, and when we eventually run out of eggs, then we reach menopause. And that age is on average about 50 to 51. So from a starting point of 2 million eggs, realistically, a woman really only ovulates about 400 eggs in her lifetime, because there's just so much wastage along the way. So this is the natural history of our eggs. Now, I want to sidetrack a little bit, because people always come to me and say, so what can I do? Okay, the quality, the numbers, what can I do to improve my egg quality? Diet, exercises, vitamins, what can I do in my lifestyle? The short answer is nothing. But the long answer is there are things you can do to make your egg quality worse. And these factors are smoking, alcohol, obesity, high sugar levels, even in the absence of frank diabetes, and environmental toxins such as plastics. They've all been proven to negatively impact on egg quality. So it's important to be mindful of this and try and minimize these factors in your life to preserve your egg quality. Now, I have to be honest that I know lots of people are taking notes from various claims out there, and certainly a lot of our patients are all on some sort of vitamin trying to improve their egg quality. But I want to be strictly scientific here to say that there are no proven remedies to improve egg quality at this stage. Another little sidetrack, okay, about IVF. Remember I said about how your body presents you with 20 eggs and 19 will get wasted and 1 ovulate. This is exactly the physiological phenomenon that IVF will utilize to do an IVF, to facilitate an IVF cycle. So what we do is we take over that control and we stimulate with higher doses of the same hormone, hoping that more than 1 egg will mature and ovulate. And so ideally we want 10 to 15 eggs out of that cycle of 20, say. So it brings a very important point that IVF is a numbers game. And 2 other very important points out of this. And that first point is IVF salvages eggs that are destined for wastage. We have not used, and we are incapable of using eggs from subsequent cycles, so that the woman who's undergone an IVF cycle will not reach menopause earlier, because we haven't touched her eggs from subsequent cycles. And then the second point is, what gives us a pregnancy is good quality egg. And so out of the 10 to 15 that we stimulate, we hope there's a really good quality egg there, and that is the one that leads us to a pregnancy. If egg quality is already suboptimal all around, that just by increasing the numbers, we're not going to get to a successful pregnancy because the quality is not there. So therefore, IVF changes numbers, but does not change quality. Okay, I think that's enough. And I certainly hope you find this video helpful. And I want to wish you all the very best in your fertility journey. Now, please like and subscribe. And do watch other episodes in our channel. And for now, it is take care and bye-bye.